Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Minecraft series. Today's episode is episode 10 of season 13, which is of course quite exciting, because that means next episode we will start a new season, season 14, updating to version 1.13, I believe. Yeah, we're in 1.12 right now, so next version will be 1.13, the aquatic update. It's gonna be quite cool. The two things I'm really excited about, I guess, are being able to actually swim, which is really quite nice with the water and everything, and also the trident. I think the trident is going to be quite cool, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see with all of that. For now, in today's episode, we're going to work more on the terraforming of this whole area here. We finally repaired our tools in the last episode. It took way longer than I hoped to, but oh well, it happened, it repaired. And we started working on it a little bit more, the terraforming area of this area. But we still need to do quite a bit. So I'm actually going to go and gather a bit more sand to start things off here. Because, well, I'm going to need a bit more sand for what I want to do. I already got a little bit just by cutting out some of the land that was already there. But I do think I'm going to need a bit more. And actually, I think I'm going to get some more torches before I do that. Since the whole torch technique is actually quite nice. I don't really know where I would have torches though. Or coal. Maybe I have coal up here actually, now that I think about it. Let's also sleep away the night real quick to start off the episode. There we go. But yeah, getting some more torches in order to do the sand mining I think is the best. I don't want to sacrifice my... we don't have any coal in here. I don't want to sacrifice all of my... what's it called? My durability of my shovel again. Because my goodness, repairing that thing was awful last episode. So yeah, I don't really feel like doing that. I had hoped I either had some torches or coal around here. I guess looking in these chests might be a bit more successful. Those are just flowers. Maybe in here? Let's see, this is our like valuable chest. There we go. Got some coal, not a lot though. I guess I haven't really mined in a really long time now, have I, to be fair. Yeah, it doesn't appear like I have all that many torches. Huh. Alright. Let's see. Okay, also nothing here. No, alright. Well, then we'll have to do with the amount that I have here. Let's see, some sticks. I'm like really low on everything, I suppose, but oh well. There we go. Just a bit of stickage. Boom, boom, boom. And there, well, that's a bit over a stack of torches. That ought to be fine, I think. That ought to be fine. Should do us just well. Alright, there we go. Then let's go and do a little bit of sand mining. It's so weird, all these animals in the desert. This world does have some funky quirks, doesn't it? Alright, it's not loading in all that well right now, which is a bit annoying, because I kind of wanted to... Okay. Hey, hello? What? Okay, that one is just not going to generate. I kind of want to do it in the same area as before. I think that will be handy. There we go. And I think... Oh, I still have that enabled. Oops. I think it might be handy to actually go underneath it first. So, like all the way down here, right? And I just go and mine out a little area here. And then fill it with torches. Then remove the layers above it. And cut down, or then the sand will all just fall down on the torches, and then I get all of the sand in one go. I don't know if it's more efficient. I think it's a little bit more fun though, maybe. Well, it's something new. Let's just keep it at that, right? It's a different way of trying to do it, and I think it will work pretty decently. Don't know if it will be more efficient or less efficient. I don't think it will make that much of a difference, to be completely honest, so yeah, whatever. I mean, this way I'm at least not messing up, you know, placing the torch at the right moment and everything like that, so it's a bit easier, that's for sure. And it looks like I've actually already tunneled here a little bit, probably to cut sandstone, so that's nice. Yeah, now I can just go like this, right? And anytime there's, maybe I need to mine behind me, there we go. That's a bit better. Look at that, now I'm getting like a lot of sand. Just by mining out a couple of blocks here. I think this works quite well. Boom, boom, look at that. Look at how big of a chunk I just removed. There we go. Yeah, look at that. There's like a lot of sand actually I just got from that. And it was way quicker than what I did last time. Okay, I like this technique. And then I can just water it all. And I get all my torches back. Yes, this appears to be quite a good system. I like it. Alright. Let's have another chunk of blocks removed here. And then I think I already will have enough sand, at least for quite a bit of time here. So just doing this twice will already provide me with a good amount. Yeah, I like this technique. I'm gonna keep on doing this for a little while, I think. Actually, I'm also gonna use my other pickaxe for a bit, just because my durability doesn't need to go too low right now. And I don't actually need more stone as of right now, I don't think. Getting a bit more cobblestone might actually be a little bit better, so let's just go ahead and use the fortune one. That one gets repaired more easily as well, so just all around better, I think. Alright. Is this like the last layer here? It is. There we go. Just place down a bunch of torches. Nice and simple. And then we mine out all of the blocks above it, and I get like a bajillion little sand blocks. Look at that. Almost. Oh, I got actually rid of exactly a stack. I didn't even plan on doing that. There we go. Boom. Yeah. This works. This works perfectly. Look at that. And then I can water it all in a second as well. My goodness. Quite weird how little amount of sandstone in this version is actually below the sand. Really certainly like the newer versions it's like way more. Like sometimes 5 blocks of sandstone underneath it. I mean sometimes it's free as well. This is like really weird, isn't it? Oh well. Doesn't matter. My inventory is actually completely filled as well right now. That's quite good. There we go. There, alright. Let's see, I want to pick up all of the sand. That's my priority here. So you can go. And I'm not gonna care about one singular. Oh wow, it's still filled. There we go. I'm not gonna care about one singular torch, I don't think. Yeah, look at that. That was quite successful. I like that. I liked how quick that was. Alright, now we're gonna have to use all of that sand on my beautiful building that's just absolutely not loading in. Alright, there we go. Oh yes, how lovely. I cannot see anything right now. Oh well. A couple more versions and that should be relatively fixed, I believe. Got quite a bit of sandstone as well, of course, but that's fine. There we go. Let's put that in the oven. Play a little song here. And let's see. So, how I did it over here. Just kind of keeping close to it, I guess. Yeah, I kind of gotta match this vibe, of course. So, let's see. I start out with sand here already. Like just a little bit, and it becomes progressively a bit more, of course. And then we come in here, and it just kind of follows the coastline, if you want to call it that. Like so. And okay, so we do want to have blocks underneath them so that I don't waste too much sand here. Let's see, I'm gonna turn this down just a little bit. There we go. So let's grab some dirt here. Oops. Alright. So yeah, underneath here we just want to have a layer of dirt so that my sand doesn't float all the way down, because that is just annoying. And there's no reason for that. So there we go. So yeah, now we just fill this all in with a little bit of sand. It's like step 1. Step 1 of the process. There we go. And I guess over here we can thicken it all up just a little bit. Just like so. I think this is pretty decent. And of course here we want it to be stacking up a little bit more, so to say. So that it just feels like it's actually sandy, like we did over there as well. Oh. Let's not let it fall too much here. Good. Okay. That's weird. Then over here we of course have our entrance of the cave, and I think what I want to do is kind of start generating a little bit of sand at the entrance already, right? Not a lot, but just a little bit. So that it starts feeling like there's actually, yeah, you know, a cave here with land, so to say. I don't know, I don't think I'm explaining it all that well right now, but that's whatever. Sort of like this. Right? Yeah. There we go. Okay. Let's see, like that. Then we gotta connect all of this up to the area we already had going on here, of course. Because that kind of just makes the most sense. So there we go. So just like that. Yeah, I think this is pretty good. I think this is pretty good already. Like, just a start, of course. Now, what's important that I also fill it in at sand at the bottom of this, like I did over there. Because that really sells it. Right now, it doesn't add that feeling of depth. Because it's not there yet. But once we have that in place, it will feel more logical, so to say. But of course, that's going to be super annoying over here, since the ground is already a bit lower. So I don't want to waste, as I said, my sand on those things. So here I have to go and first make a layer of dirt and then a sand layer on top of it, so to say. So that's a bit of extra work, but I think that's gonna be fine. It's just a little bit extra work, I guess. Anyway, let's go around here. This is where it would be great to already have the update aquatic kind of going on, I suppose. Because then I, you know, could swim better and everything like that, but oh well. It is what it is. I'm just doing it a little bit too early, I suppose. It is what it is. Alright, there we go. Maybe a bit more sand here. Like so. There we go. And then this all gets sand in a bit more. There we go. Alright, let's quickly sleep away this night. There we go. Drink some water as well, why not? And there we go. Oh, got disorientated just a little bit there. Let's play a new little disc, I guess. There we go. Maybe a bit more sand here. It does look a little bit rough like this, I suppose. More like that. Why not? Yeah, that looks a little bit better, I think. Not perfect or anything, don't get me wrong, but a bit better. And then there it gets more sandy. For now it's fine. Okay. Let's see, like this. And then we have a pretty decent entrance to our cave here, I would say. So to just expand this all at least by one, and then every now and then they will get a random little blob that sticks out a bit more. I guess I didn't even do that over here yet. Oh wait, this is all new. Yeah, I did do it over here, you see? Yeah, it looks better. Definitely looks better. This is still new though. Yeah, over here it just does look way better when there's at least a little bit of a layer of sand underneath it. Oh my goodness, there we go. Just because it, I don't know, it just adds depth to it, so to say. Which is quite important. Maybe, there we go. And it doesn't need to be perfectly detailed underwater, of course, because you don't see it all that clearly or anything. But just adding that makes it feel so much more structurally sound, so to say. I don't know, it would definitely be bad if I didn't have it in there, I think. There we go. So we of course need to add it to here as well. There we go. Just a bit of sand. Or maybe I kind of like it actually like that. There we go. I think that's pretty decent. Let's see, this definitely needs a little bit more work. And we of course still need to go lower with it as well. So over here, I want to add just a little bit of this stuff. So there we go. And then up until this point it can slowly start converting into dirt, that's no problem. I actually do want it eventually to just turn more into dirt than into sand. Because, well, that is way cheaper for me and way less work. So, that's a big reason, but also it would make sense since the rest of the bottom of the sea is mainly more dirt than sand. So it would make sense if it starts transitioning into dirt from here instead of sand, right? And you're not gonna see it all that much from this point, since the deeper it goes, the darker it gets, so you really barely even notice which block is going on where anymore, I would say. So, yeah, all in all, I think it makes sense what I'm doing now. Did I just start killing that squid? But okay, whatever. I'm not even gonna care about it. I thought it was taking damage, but I don't know for certain. So yeah, here it starts turning into dirt, right? Just a bit of sand here. Of course, there is already a layer of sand just by chance here. So I guess it makes sense to transition it into that right now. We're doing this. That makes sense. But then once it starts being more dirt at the bottom... Oh, I need some air. Once it starts being more dirt, then it starts being more dirt. So, you know, then it's fine if it is more dirty. Literally. So like this, I think this will be quite honestly fine. Like this is like a good transition, so to say, from one sort of part of the bottom to the other. Oop, bit of air. Like so. I think that will be pretty fine. I mean, it's literally doing the same over there as well. I guess a little bit of sand here and there sticking out might be a bit better. I mean, now I'm really focusing on looking at that, right? So you notice it more, but I think from a distance especially, you will just not notice it nearly as much. I mean, look, this already just looks like a pretty normal ocean floor, I would say, from right here. But you still get that feeling of sand making sense, so to say, the depth of it. So that is what I wanted to achieve, and I think I've done a decent job at that. So that's good. Maybe a bit more here and there. No, it does need to stack up. Not like this. A bit like that. There we go. Need a little bit. There we go. Cool. And I think this side I've already done pretty well. So let's see it from like a higher view. Yes, yes, yes. I think I'm happy with this. This is kind of like the vibe I wanted to get going here. I guess I do need to make it stack up a bit higher over there as well, since it does just look good here. So we're gonna be doing that. It just feels like a bit too flat here and there. So we need to add some more sand to that. So like this. Goes up all the way there. Here, boom. Then here just starts being like that. Boom. Something like this. I think that will already do the trick, kind of. Yeah, alright. So far so good. Maybe we do just want more dirt over here as well. Kind of just filling in those cracks, so to say. Transitioning it into sand, of course, like that. And I think this feels really empty right now, but what we need to do is just bone meal it and place some trees and all that kind of stuff. I think that will really bring it together. It feels really empty right now still, but that is the main thing missing, not actually more blocks, so to say. And then here, of course, we have like the entrance to a cave. which we can already start making a bit more, so to say. There we go. So like that. And like that. Kind of like this. So yeah, I think here we'll have the cave entrance. It of course gets a little bit smaller and then like a bit bigger. So I think for now this is good up until when we are actually gonna build with it. Is this thing like even nearly active still? I mean, we're only 2 versions away from it being useless anyway, but okay, I don't think it's active at all anymore, but whatever. I mean, I haven't seen an iron golem spawn in here for so long. That's whatever. Probably the chunks are just bugged because of old version stuff. It does look quite funny from this side now, doesn't it? Yeah, okay. Anyway, we got a couple of options now. I could just start going nuts with the bone mealing of everything, which is definitely needed. Or I could go and make the cave area, but I feel like the bone meal is more important. Although, I must say, I must also start filling in all of this. This is way too straight, of course, so we need to make it a bit less of that, so to say. So we're gonna go out in these directions here a little bit, like so. Just add some bulb to it, if this makes sense. We're gonna go here, and we're really gonna have to start adding more land to this whole area, so to say, because if you look from it at a distance now, this just looks so weak in comparison to all of that. And that is really taking away from the whole view, I think. Like the thumbnail of the last episode, you can really see that this is just such a weak side in comparison now. And that, of course, needs to change because we don't want that. So I'm gonna have to start adding a lot of land to all of this. Now, of course, things like this kind of have to go away. And have to transition a bit more, you know, well, if that makes sense. And here we just start going nuts with all of this. Now, of course, the dirt might go up every now and then, just like the sand did, but that for now is not important yet. I just want the land to be completely filled in here first, and then later we'll get into all of that, so to say. And like this. Oh. I guess I could start with just making an outline here. Kind of just following the natural curve we already had of our building. I mean, not really a natural curve. I literally, if we go underneath it, I made this. Like, this is all just fake land, so to say. Like, if we go in here, it's just water, right? Let's see, I'm a bit stuck, but like here's land, but over there it's all just fake. Like, this land wasn't here yet. Some of it is, like this was here. But then this I just created. I kind of created my own land to build a castle upon. But that vibe we want to eliminate. Let's quickly sleep away the night. Drink some more water here. So like we want to make it not seem like I made it just myself, the land. We want to make it look like the land was already here and then the castle was built up on it, right? That of course would make more sense from like a building perspective, I guess. So that's what we're gonna try and do here. Make it make sense. Sometimes it goes out a bit more, a bit in more. Here I want to kind of make it match with the land that we already had going on. I'm not gonna keep all of the land that's already here because it sticks out just a bit too much, I think. So we'll probably have a little cut in it, but most of it can stay, I would say. Just this area right here, we're going to cut into it a little bit. Just like so. There we go. And there we go. I think like that is already pretty decent. And now we're going to have to really just start outlining it all for everything. Like the whole building needs to start making sense, right? I'm gonna have to fill all of this in. It's gonna be quite a big task, but I think this is an important next step to make the view, like to complete the feeling of it being whole here. So yeah, it's a big task, but it's a worthy one, I would say. It's a one that's worthwhile. Here we cut in a bit more. Like so, and then we start dripping out again. Of course, this is going to be quite a big land mass, but you gotta understand that, of course, this indent doesn't. It's on each side, so it would be weird, kind of, if the land was shaped around that as well, right? Like that actually wouldn't make any sense. So I think making it like this, where it's not completely shaped around the castle, but it's kind of just a straight bit of land, makes more sense than making it shaped like the castle shape is, because that wouldn't make that much sense, if that makes sense what I'm saying here. I don't know. Anyway, here we of course start having ice and stuff, which does change everything up a little bit, because I do like the idea of having some part of the castle be on ice. And I feel like we just got a little bit unlucky with that. Like maybe it's just gonna be this area. Maybe I have to fill in a bit more of it myself with ice. Like just gather a bit of ice blocks and then place them in there. Because I feel like it would be quite cool if this was all surrounded with ice. But it's like just not it, is it? Like how the actual ice generation is. It's just not it. Maybe I will do that later with more like packed ice and stuff like that, and blue ice. That might make it feel more real. I'm gonna mine it out as soak touch here though. And of course the land being shaped up to the ice does make sense and would be quite cool, I think. So we're gonna definitely be doing that, don't get me wrong. But the ice is not gonna be all the way up to the castle, so to say. So yeah. I mean, it doesn't make sense for a castle to be built upon ice, I suppose, when all of the other parts of the castle aren't. So in that way, this is still good. Let's see, where did my ice blocks go? They don't float in this version just yet. One more episode and then they will. Then they will. And here we kind of just have a shape around it like that. And then I just fill this in with ice blocks, so that it is all looking just a little bit cooler. It's quite weird how there's just like areas of no ice. Like, why is there no ice here, but there and there and there is? Like, what's going on here? Anyway, it doesn't matter all that much. I'm gonna just have a little deviation here. And yes, I know I'm wasting a bit of ice here on the ground, but it's so annoying to gather. Oh, I will get most of it though. There we go. And there. Alright, let's pick it all up, because I don't really feel like wasting it too much. Since it is nice to fill in holes like this. Oh, not with you though. With a bit of ice, just to make it feel more solid. Hold on, I need to sit better in my chair. Give me a second here. Alright, just give me... there we go. Alright, I'm back. Okay. Yeah, you don't know what happened there, but it was needed. Alright. Oh, that's the wrong one. There we go. So it's gonna have this kind of shape. And then a shape around here as well. And let's see, how are we gonna do all of this? Because there's of course the natural land right here. These lines of course need to go. Let's do that right now actually. Because they were just here so that I could actually see if I made the outlines correct, so to say. So they are no longer needed. There we go. Right. And then the question is, how do I want to shape it up here? Do I want this all to become land so that it's like kind of connected here? I think I do want that, since this is going to be the entrance. And I want the entrance to be quite solid, so to say. So we're gonna build off of this bit here. And then we're gonna make that match up with all of them. Alright. You chose that yourself. There we go. So there we go. We're gonna have a shape like this. All the way to out here. And then we're just gonna have that match up with the shape line, or the line that we already had here. I guess this makes sense. Oh, what? That looks cool. That was weird. Alright, there we go. I think this will be a good natural curve. So we're gonna remove a little bit here. Or maybe I'm gonna fill in all of this as well. Since, you know, this is the entrance. And it would kind of make sense to not have a lake right in front of it, so to say. So yeah, I'm probably at some point going to have to fill in a lot of this area as well. Which, yeah, sure is a lot of work, but that's fine. That is absolutely fine. I'm not scared of a bit of work, I suppose. But for now, we're at least going to fill in this. And then maybe from like here to here, it will be filled in. Giving more solidness to the entrance, but still giving, you know, space for the lake to be on this side. I guess that makes the most sense, at least to me. So we're going to get rid of all of this ice. Because we do not need it anymore. Oh. There we go. And now we got quite a big task ahead of us. We gotta... Oh, there we go. We gotta fill in all of the land that we just kind of outlined. So that is a bit of a big task. I mean, this alone is already massive. But hey, it needs to be done. And I guess over here it starts going up a lot more as well, right? Like this whole entrance is quite high. So it makes sense for this to be all higher as well. So we're gonna shape it around here. I mean, the whole entrance is not made yet, so that's completely fine. And then around here it starts being a little bit lower, so like right here. There we go. So that like the hilly feeling goes over to this point. So we'll go like this. There we go. And then we just continue the hill just slightly over here, so that the entrance gets that real feeling of, you know, high and mighty, so to say. I don't know. I think I'm making sense, but I don't know for certain. So up to there. This of course doesn't matter. You cannot really tell that it was supposed to start lower, so that's fine. Fill in all of this. There. And there, like this. I think this is pretty decent, right? I mean, of course, it goes higher here still, which is a little bit sad. I think I'm gonna get rid of this hill anyway. Like, at least curve it to be a bit lower than it is right now. Kind of making it match on both sides. I think that is the best. Let's do that right now so that I get better, like a better feeling for it. So we're gonna get rid of the top head areas first, like this. Then we're just gonna curve this all down quite a considerable bit, because this is just a little bit too high. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. There we go. Are you... what? There we go. So this all goes down quite a lot more, because it starts here as well. I kind of want to be showing that, right? Like, it being high here, that's fine. But then where the ground, or where the castle starts at the lower point, we do want the area before it to also be at the lower point, I think. So let's get started on all of that. Actually, I need to empty out my inventory quite a bit here. There we go. Let's also sleep away the night here. Boom. Drink some more water. Cool. And let's see. Oh, my shovel. You know what? I don't think this is worth it, actually. I need just a full-on new shovel. Oh, I don't have 30 levels, though, do I? Oh, what a horrible version. Oh, no. Let's see. Let's see. How is this going to work? Do I have any good shovels? I kind of don't. How much would it cost for me to repair it, just in general? 8 already? Oh my goodness, just for one. Silk touch. I mean, I'm pretty certain this can insta-mine, right? Oh. Yeah. But this is probably gonna be really expensive to heal. Oh, not yet, actually. I guess I haven't healed it that much yet. And if I combine it with a normal shovel... Oh! Oh, that's only 2. You know what? We'll use this shovel for a little while. Because this is just not worth it. I don't know if this can insta-mine grass, though. That would be a bit sad if it couldn't. But we'll have to see. Oh, it cannot. Oh. Oh, no. And my beacon is all the way on the other side and I just moved it, so I really don't feel like moving it again. Oh, horrible, horrible, horrible. I mean, I can see there's a ghost block here. There we go. How do I want to shape this up, though? That's the question. So, outline this. I think right around here is where we want the curve to be. The curve of the hill. So we shape it up like this. Then it kind of starts going out like this. And here it starts going down earlier than it usually did. So like so. There we go. And then all of this just needs to be gone. So now I can use the new shovel for that because it's only dirt. There. And then we just have to decide what the next line of the hill is going to be. So right around here, I suppose we'll have like a new line. Kind of just following a natural curve line, let's say. Right, all the way around it, up until here, where the curve kind of used to be. Like here, there was already a natural line of the hill, so we are just following that. And then cutting off all the excess. There we go. Boom. Okay. It's gonna be an interesting little job, but not too difficult, I don't think. Alright, we already have like way too much dirt again. Now we're gonna save for this dirt. Wow, there's emeralds in here. We gotta save these dirt blocks because, well, I'm gonna need a lot of it for our next job here. So, yeah, definitely worth keeping them around. I want this to be a bit more natural. Then we get here. There we go. Ah, I just got rid of all of my dirt. Alright. That's the most handy thing ever. But yeah, this all just flattening it out a little bit would be way better, I think. Although it's gonna be so interesting because, you know, we want it all to be connected over there, but then maybe this shouldn't be too flat. I don't know. That is a terraforming job for way further in the future. So for now, I'm not gonna worry about that just yet. I just kind of want this to be looking good. Let's start it off with that, right? So yeah, this kind of just following the castle line here. Basically up until this point. Maybe a bit more. So like so. I mean, this one was already quite high, so we can really cut into it quite well. Like so, I think. Maybe even a bit less. There we go. Like this. I think so. I think this is pretty decent. Yeah, I think so. Alright, and then we need a new line over here, of course. Now, we do not have our beacon over there, so cutting out all of this stone is going to be a little bit annoying. But there's no way that's going to be faster for me to bring the beacon all the way over here. That I just don't believe. So we just gotta bite through it right now, I guess. That's what I gotta do. Which it is what it is. But yeah, just kind of an outline right here, like this. Cutting in here. Then we get it like this. So. And it slowly starts going in here, all the way up to the entrance point, which is right here. Well, the entrance is actually right. What height do I even want the entrance to be? Because they do need to be at the same height. I guess this height would be pretty good, which would make my life simpler, because then I have to cut out less and just fill in more. Kind of a shape like this, I think I would like. Right, like so. And then going in over to a hill that's going to be over here as well. So that it matches with that side. I think that's how I want this to be. So this is all going to be a little bit higher. Like this, boom. And then it kind of just stops around here. Which is going to definitely cut into this, but that's fine. That really isn't that big of a deal. I'm gonna be real honest. It all will make sense at some point. I just need to make it make sense, let's say. So yeah, we're gonna have the hill up here to this level. This is all gonna be basically the same level. Then right next to the pillar of the entrance, we're gonna have a little upness. So we're gonna do the same on this side. And then once that is all in place, then I think it will make sense. I think it will make sense. Right. What I'm gonna quickly do is actually higher up everything here. So this is at this level. This needs to be at that level as well. Because we're not gonna make the entrance be uneven. I don't think that would make any sense at all. So we're gonna go like this. Wait, isn't this dark oak? Oh no, it's spruce. Okay, I was about to say, we could use dark oak in the entrance, I suppose. I mean, we do have access to it now. We started this building back when dark oak wasn't in the game yet, so it could be done. But we'll see. We'll see. I need to design the entrance again anyway, so I can always choose what to do, whatever I want here. Alright, there we go. Now that is all in one line. Way better. And now this is all in one line. Also way better. And this is all okay. Get it even shaped up to it like this a little bit. And then here it will just start being a little bit lower. So we do need to cut out just a little bit of the hill here. There we go. Like so. I think this makes the most sense. Alright. And it's all going down from there, yes. And let's see, so this was just a bit of a sharp cut. We kind of wanted more shape like this, I think. There we go. Yeah. And then it can start flattening out more and more from this point forward. There we go. Okay. Then here, I mean, I could just kind of leave it like this. I'm gonna be real honest. This, of course, is all gonna be filled in. And then, right now, this looks like a really short transition, while this is long. But once this is all filled in, I couldn't, of course, make that transition a lot longer. So that is not that big of a deal right now. I think this would actually make the most sense. It being kind of like up until this height, so to say. Yeah, I like it like this now. This is way better. Of course, we gotta cut in here still. But that should be a piece of cake. We just need to transition it all from that to that in a more smooth way than it has been done now. The natural generation I don't fully agree with, so we're gonna change it a little bit. We just got a little change it. Well, no, wait, that's the wrong way around. We gotta just change it a little bit. Not much, just a little. Just a little. Nighttime is falling already again, okay. Let's see it like this. Here it starts getting really interesting, so I suppose we can just kind of leave it up to this height. That is the least amount of work, while still looking alright, I would say. Of course, we get it a bit higher around the castle itself. That kind of makes sense, I would say. Let's sleep away the night real quick and drink some more water here. Right, there we go. And let me see. So here is the last bit of transitioning we need to do. So like this is all going to be that height. And at this point, we'll allow it to just be a bit random. I mean, this is of course where we have done some stuff, so we're just gonna fill it all in to hide that stuff. That's just the easiest way to go about this. Just gonna fill it in and hide it. But that never happened. That never happened. I don't know what you're talking about. That's how we're gonna play this now. There we go. And now we have a way smoother transition, whatever you want to call it, than we had before, which is good. We want that. We want it to be nice and smooth. This all needs to be cut out still, because it is not adding to the smoothness. There we go. And now, as I was saying, this kind of makes it feel logical, this whole bite here. Of course, this has to go, and I think just making it like this makes sense. So that's what we're going to be doing. Then it's going to be a little bit lower there, but it goes up again, it goes up here again, you know, it goes up and down, up and down. That is normal for terrain to do, which is exactly what we want. We want it to look normal. If we can make it look normal, then we are doing a great job at making it terraformed. There we go. And now we have the annoying task of replacing all of this. So, yeah. Great. Oh. What? I cannot instant mine gravel? Are you kidding me? That doesn't make any sense. Why would gravel not be the same as dirt and sand? Weird. Weird. Alright, there we go. Like this. Boop, boop, boop. 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 I think this makes sense. Bit of dirt up here and here. Just a little bit. To make it feel more realistic, so to say. There we go. Yeah, I like that. I think that's good. Fill all of this in. Here we go. And now, once again, have to unfortunately destroy the stone and replace it all with dirt. Such a tedious task, but whatever. It has to be done. Has to be done. Least fun part of the terraforming. But hey, whatever. Whatever. It is okay. There we go. Get all be gone and replace it with dirt. And this way we're gonna finally refuel the pillars a bit more at the bottom as well, which I think this side definitely needed. So that's good. That's really good. But we'll have to see how it's all gonna go. Alright, there we go. Have to take a step back in a second to really see what's it gonna feel like, of course. And as I said, what we still need to do is bone meal it all up and add in a lot of trees around it as well. I think that is definitely a way to go here, to just make it feel more alive. And right now it's gonna be a lot of dirt and just grass, no filling on top of it, which is gonna make it feel really dead and empty. But once we start adding in those things, then it will feel way more alive, which is what we want. Which is what we want. Alright, let's get rid of a lot of this junk here. There we go. And let me see, I'm gonna need way more dirt again. Not that much yet though. So there we go. Now we have this hill here. We gotta start transforming it all here as well into just more and more hill. And over here is where we start making it a little bit higher even, once again. Just like I did over there. So you want to have it be like, oops. Be like this. Not a big hill, just a little bit of extra here. Right, that's all I needed. Like so. Okay. And it doesn't need to go higher than this because it doesn't do that over there. So there we go. And then we of course keep to the natural shape of what we already had carved out here. So we're not gonna get any more in there because this is all gonna be a wall a little bit here. So don't need to be worried about that. There we go. And there we go. Now of course this all needs to even be like spread. The grass still needs to spread up here. So that's gonna take quite a bit of time. But even just having that happen will already make it feel way better. Like make it look way better. So yeah, we just gotta wait on that. There we go. And then this all just needs to fill in. Which is a tedious task. This is all going to be very tedious. I'm going to be placing a lot of dirt from now on. Just to terraform all of this. But that's fine. I kind of like the placing of the dirt more than removing it all, so to say. So that's okay. It is quite numbing, so to say. You should just go numb. There we go. So that is one layer done. Now we need to make it all go down in more of a logical way. Which this isn't. There we go. So like here. And here. Like this. There we go. Okay, let's see. Boom. Now making this feel natural is going to be a little more difficult as well. I'm just outlining it at the bottom here first. And then in a second I will actually focus on that. So like this. Right. And then here it starts going down again. Or like that. And that. And now we just gotta kind of follow the curve that was already in place. And make it make sense. Make it make sense. Which is easier said than done. I'm gonna be real honest. I'm just doing something right now and hoping that it will look good at some point. There we go. And then here it starts going down another layer. So we do the whole process again. Until we're all the way at the bottom. Did the creeper like explode here? What happened there? Oh well, doesn't matter. And here I want to try and do that a bit more. There we go. I think this is going well. In terms of hilliness, so to say. Right, yeah, I think so. We'll once again do this part first. Like so. Well. There, and here we already had that, so we go here. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Yeah, this looks good. Now I want the hill to kind of shape more into this direction, if that makes sense. It's a bit hard to explain, but I think that will make it look better, kind of changing the direction vibes. Like I was shaping it in a different way a second ago, and now we're kind of shaping it in a different way again. I don't know. I think it will make sense. I think it will. Like this. Boom. And like that. Okay. There we go. And now it's just the filling in of all of this, but this actually goes all the way up till that point. So this is kind of going to be how it's going to be. Let's take a little flight here. Maybe actually land on the jungle tree that we got here. Yeah, okay, I like it. So this was kind of what I was hoping for, that it wouldn't match. Both sides kind of now look the same, like the same vibe is going on. Of course, we're going to fill in all of that. And as I said, this is all going to be filled in as well, which will make it feel way more solid. Which is going to be an important thing to do, because right now it does look a little bit weird, but that's fine. Like, especially this part right here is like way straight, right? But once this is all filled in, then it will make way more sense that it's like that. Okay, cool, cool. Actually, I'm going to take a screenshot from here for today's episode, why not? Boom, boom, boom. There we go. Because we don't have actually all that much time left for today's episode. Let's quickly sleep away this night. Drink some more water. And we'll continue for just a second here. So this part can kind of just come in here a bit more. And then slowly transition into what we already had, like that. Then I don't need to cut in here anymore. And now we're gonna fill in all of this with dirt. Big task, but it needs to be done. Because I'm out of dirt. Okay, whoa. Whoa. That means I've actually used a lot of dirt already. My goodness. Like a lot. So like, look at that. What on earth? Alright. I guess I've used almost as much dirt as I've digged away in this area. That's quite crazy. But yeah, we gotta fill in all of this with dirt. Now, of course, it's not gonna be all flat the whole way around. That would be awful. What I want to do is kind of create hills in the middle of it, so to say. I don't think necessarily leading up to the castle. So I don't want that to be the highest part and this to be the lowest part per se. I think just a little hillage in the middle of everything, that would be good. But not like a big hill, just a small little upness. Like just a slight little bump. Not like that. Just a little whoop, and then it's good. And yeah, it's difficult to explain without showing or without making it, I guess. So let's just make it and keep it at that, hey? Alright, so around here I would say I just want a little bump in length. So like this. Like this. And we kind of just shape back here. Like so. Just a little bump and then it goes one bit higher. But it doesn't go any higher than that. And the meaning of this is just to break up the flatness that we would otherwise create. While not taking away from the structure of the building. Because I don't want to, you know, what we had going on there, just hide away the complete base of this thing. But this way it is just a little bit of a hill, breaking up the flatness, while still, you know, showing all of the building basically going on there. That is the vibe that I want to create, and I think something like that does the job, so to say. As I said before, the dirt really needs to transform into grass in order to sell my points here. Otherwise yeah, it just looks a little bit weird, but that will happen over time. So that's fine. Here we have it a bit like this. And then like this, there we go. There, alright. Okay, cool. Yeah, nice. And maybe we could have a little bit of water here, I suppose. Just to break it all up a little bit more as well. Just like a little lake. I don't think that would per se be like a bad thing now that I'm thinking about it. Like just a little bit of this, of course, then I do need to fill in this a bit more. There we go. No sand allowed here. But just a little bit of a lake here would maybe be cool. It's not that much a lake, it's just a bit of water. I don't think that would be per se bad, but I need to see it all in one big image to really know what's going on. I just think the flatness is something I really need to avoid, like having it being flat. Oh, this is so cool though. Look at that from the inside. But yeah, the flatness, it being a big flat area at one point, is really something that I just don't want to have, because that makes it ugly, so to say. It just, yeah, it's just ugly when that happens. So that is what we're gonna avoid here, as I said before. So with little hills and little bits of water, that is the way to go, I think. I hope. I don't know how good this will look, but I think it will look alright, especially with a lot of vegetation around it, of course. And look at this area, right? This is going to be way too flat if it just gets left behind like this. So that's where we need something to be done as well. That could be a tree, it could be a lot of things that I could do here, so to say. And I might even have to go into custom trees, more so than actual self-made or just planted trees, but yeah, I don't know. I think like this is pretty good though. Let's take one more look from up here. I'm almost out of dirt as well. Yeah, okay, that definitely needs to be filled in for it to make sense, I suppose. But that I think doesn't look half bad. It's gonna be a big project, that's for sure. Oh well. Anyway, I'm gonna end the episode right here. We're right out of time. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed it. As always, I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. So yeah, for now, goodbye.